World War I, the war that remade humanity. At the dawn of the 20th century, the world stood on the edge of extraordinary progress and unimaginable destruction. Cities expanded under electric light. Railways stitched continents together. Factories poured steel, coal, and machines into global markets. Empires ruled over millions of people across Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. Yet beneath this shining surface of modernity, powerful forces were pulling nations toward conflict. Europe was dominated by rival empires. Britain controlled the largest navy and overseas colonies. France sought security after losing territory to Germany decades earlier. Germany, unified in 1871, had grown into an industrial and military giant, eager for influence equal to older empires. Austria-Hungary governed a fragile multi-ethnic empire filled with rising nationalist movements. The Ottoman Empire, once powerful, was slowly collapsing, leaving a dangerous vacuum of power. Nationalism fueled resentment. Ethnic groups wanted independence, especially in the Balkans where Slavic populations dreamed of creating their own nations. Serbia promoted the idea of uniting all Slavic people, directly threatening Austria-Hungary's control over Bosnia and neighboring territories. At the same time, militarism pushed nations to build enormous armies and navies. Weapons factories operated non-stop. Generals gained political influence. War plans were drafted in precise detail, waiting only for the moment to be used. Imperial competition intensified rivalries. European powers fought economically and politically over colonies, trade routes, and resources. Africa had been carved into foreign-controlled territories without regard for its peoples, deepening international tension. Meanwhile, alliance systems divided Europe into armed camps. Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy formed the Triple Alliance. Britain, France, and Russia formed the Triple Entente. These agreements promised mutual defense, meaning any regional conflict could quickly expand into a continental war. By 1914, Europe had become a tightly wound machine of suspicion, fear, and ambition. All it needed was a spark. That spark came on June 28, 1914, in the city of Sarajevo. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was visiting the recently annexed province of Bosnia. Serbian nationalists viewed the annexation as a legal occupation. A secret extremist network known as the Black Hand supported young radicals who believed violence could achieve political freedom. During the visit, 19-year-old Gavrilo Princip stepped forward and fired 2 shots at close range. Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie died within minutes. The assassination shocked Europe. Austria-Hungary accused Serbia of backing terrorism and demanded harsh conditions. Serbia accepted most demands but rejected full control by Austrian investigators. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 20th. Alliance obligations activated instantly. Russia mobilized its army to protect Serbia. Germany declared war on Russia and France. Germany invaded neutral Belgium as part of its Schlieffen Plan to defeat France quickly before turning east toward Russia. Britain entered the war to defend Belgium's neutrality. Within days, Europe was engulfed in war. The early months were marked by rapid movement and enormous casualties. German forces pushed deep into Belgium and northern France. However, in September 1914, French and British troops stopped the advance at the Battle of the Marne. Both sides dug defensive trenches to hold their positions. These trenches stretched from the North Sea to the Swiss border, creating a frozen front line that would barely move for years. Life in the trenches was brutal beyond imagination. Soldiers lived surrounded by mud, rats, lice, and constant shell fire. Rain flooded the trenches, turning them into swamps. The dead sometimes lay only meters away, unreachable during ongoing bombardments. Disease spread easily. Food was limited and often spoiled. Sleep came in short, anxious intervals. Soldiers suffered severe psychological trauma known as shell shock, caused by constant explosions and fear. When attacks were ordered, thousands of men climbed out of trenches and advanced across open ground under machine gun fire and artillery bombardment. Many were killed within minutes. Entire battalions disappeared in a single morning. Battles such as Verdun and the Somme resulted in hundreds of thousands of casualties with little territorial gain. The battlefield became a factory of death. World War I introduced weapons that transformed warfare forever. Poison gas drifted silently across battlefields, burning lungs, skin, and eyes. Gas masks became standard equipment, but many soldiers still died, choking in agony. Tanks were introduced to cross trenches and crush barbed wire, though early models were slow and unreliable. Aircraft evolved rapidly from simple reconnaissance tools into fighting machines capable of aerial combat and bombing. German submarines, known as U-boats, hunted ships beneath the ocean surface, cutting supply lines and sinking civilian vessels. The war expanded far beyond Europe. In Africa, colonial troops fought for European powers and territories such as German East Africa, Cameroon, and Namibia. African soldiers and porters were forced into harsh service under brutal conditions. In the Middle East, British forces fought the Ottoman Empire while supporting Arab revolts against Turkish rule. Promises of independence were made to Arab leaders, many of which were later broken. In Asia and the Pacific, Japan seized German territories, expanding its influence. The United States remained neutral initially, but faced growing pressure as German submarines sank merchant ships carrying civilians and American goods. The sinking of the passenger ship Lusitania caused international outrage. In 1917, the Zimmermann telegram revealed Germany's attempt to persuade Mexico to attack the United States in exchange for territory. Public opinion shifted sharply. In April 1917, the United States declared war on Germany. American industrial power and fresh troops provided critical momentum for the Allied forces. Millions of American soldiers crossed the Atlantic, reinforcing exhausted European armies. In early 1918, Germany launched a final massive offensive before American forces could fully arrive. Initial breakthroughs pushed Allied lines back, but German supply shortages, exhaustion, and growing Allied coordination halted the advance. Allied forces counterattacked using combined arms tactics integrating infantry, tanks, aircraft, and artillery. Inside Germany, food shortages caused unrest. Workers protested. Soldiers mutinied. Political revolution spread. The German government collapsed and sought an armistice. On November 11, 1918, fighting officially stopped. The peace that followed was harsh and unstable. The Treaty of Versailles placed full blame for the war on Germany. Germany lost territory, had its military severely restricted, and was forced to pay massive financial reparations. Austria-Hungary dissolved into several new nations. The Ottoman Empire was dismantled, and foreign powers divided its territories. New borders were drawn with little regard for ethnic realities, planting future conflicts. The war left more than 20 million dead and countless wounded. Entire cities lay in ruins. Economies were shattered. A generation was psychologically scarred. Political extremism gained fertile ground in broken societies. The belief that this had been the war to end all wars soon proved tragically wrong. World War I reshaped the modern world. It changed how wars were fought, how nations were governed, and how global power was distributed. Its consequences echoed throughout the 20th century and continue to shape international relations today. Humanity had unlocked the full destructive power of industrial warfare and could never turn back.